The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Happy Monday. Welcome to the Puck Portfolio. I'm Andy MacNeil, your host. I'm here on weekdays to provide NHL projections, betting advice, and strategies to help you make informed bets throughout the NHL season. This show is sponsored by NorthStar Bets. They're available across Canada. They offer early odds on the next day's NHL games, which we really appreciate here on this show. It was a pretty quiet weekend for me on the picks side of things. Had 4 plays officially over the weekend. Went 2-2. Luckily, big winner on the Blue Jackets, plus 140 on Friday night over the Senators. A plus 170 winner on the Flyers in the shootout over the Penguins on Saturday. And the 2 plays that lost were small plays. So really no harm done. Actually came out ahead a little bit. So very happy about that. On the season, let's check it out right now. Don't have a chance to bring it up here on the screen. A little pressed for time on that front, but 63-45 on the NHL money line this season. That's a 15.5% return on investment for 18.5 units. And yeah, we're going to get into the schedule breakdown a little bit here. Just quickly touching on everything. If you've been here before, you know the deal. So we've got 3 days up on the screen right now. That is December 4th, 5th, and 6th, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. Nobody playing back-to-back over these next few days. So pretty evenly matched, all things considered. But of course, I factor this into my projection, so you can take a screenshot right now if you would like, and have a look at that later in a little bit more, or after we get into some of the games here, because we're going to get into Tuesday. You know, a big reason why we've been crushing it on this show is that we are always looking ahead. You know, you should wonder why people aren't looking ahead on any gambling show, right? So we do that here on the Puck Portfolio. Monday, there's a handful of games. Brossoit starting tonight for the Winnipeg Jets. Did not have that factored in. So there's a shift there for sure. Had Connor Hellebuck projected to go. So I don't know if that's enough, though. Let me see here. So yeah, obviously there's a big straddle here, right? So this is live at work. There's a big straddle here between, you know, where the Jets are priced right now. Looks like plus 110 at a lot of sports books. There's, you know, 40 cents to where they're priced, or to where the Hurricanes are priced at minus 130. So, or 30 cents from plus 105 to minus 125. So, you know, unless you think that it's a 50-cent move or something, it's going to be pretty tough to find value on the Hurricanes at minus 130, unless you already thought they should be a fairly sizable favorite already. Then there's definitely some value, but I can't say for sure whether or not there's value betting on Carolina at this point. Haven't had a chance to update my numbers. I guess I could, you know, do that right now. A little bit of guesswork here, I guess, because I'll just do this the quick way. Yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so Winnipeg, where are you? You are right there. Laurent Brossoit. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then we go over here and we change it. Yeah, obviously I know you guys can't see what's happening on the screen here. So minus 128, that's what the model thinks that the Carolina Hurricanes should be at this point. So not enough value there to bet on the Hurricanes on Monday. But yeah, not really any value. In fact, I don't think on any of the games, really. It might be some value on the Montreal Canadiens, depending on what sports book you're shopping at. But overall, I don't think there's any value on Monday, and that's why I'm going to talk about Tuesday's games, because I've got 2 bets locked in. We can go back to Monday in a little bit, but let's talk about Tuesday, December 5th. The first game that I want to talk about is the Buffalo Sabres and the Detroit Red Wings in Buffalo. Look, the Sabres have really dropped off as of late, and somehow they've actually gotten worse on defense. But let's talk about their offense for a second. According to Stathletes on Twitter, the Sabres went from 3rd in goals per game last season to 22nd in goals per game this season. Their shooting percentage went from 5th to 16th, scoring chances from 12th to 28th. Shots from the slot, 10th to 30th. Offensive zone passes completed, 8th to 29th. And offensive zone possession time, they went from tied for third last season to 26th in the NHL this season. So, yeah, that's a really big drop off for this Sabres team. Of course, Tage Thompson has missed the last 9 games. He's been skating on his own, but he will probably need some practice time before returning. So I'm not really worried about that. Alex Tuck is day to day with an undisclosed injury. I've actually left him in just to be safe, and I still like the Red Wings here at minus 110. The current odds at NorthStar Bets, locking the Red Wings in on the money line at minus 110, 1.1 units to win, 1 unit here. Look, Detroit doesn't really excel off the rush. But they're still pretty dangerous with players like DeBrincat and Raymond always ready to strike here, and I think that could spell trouble for the Buffalo Sabres. The Red Wings, they ranked 13th in expected goals percentage in all situations over the last month. They ranked second in goals per 60 minutes over the last month. And they were one of the top 10 teams in goals against per 60 minutes during that stretch as well. So this looks like a really good matchup for the Red Wings here. And I like them a lot at minus 110 on the money line on the road. And I think, this Sabres team, maybe there's a little bit of hope there that Tage Thompson will be back in the lineup. I don't think that that's likely or all that likely at this point. So I'm on the Red Wings minus 110 as the model. It has them at minus 126. And that doesn't assume Patrick Kane plays. There's a small chance that Kane could work his way into the lineup. Of course, he is from Buffalo. I'm sure he'd like to get the boos and the jeers from the Sabres crowd. What did you think of the weekend action, Jake? Did you have any takeaways from what we saw this weekend?
Yeah, I mean I mainly watch Habs games. That's that's my weakness. I watch the Habs games, and I watched
Weakness and a
yeah.
punishment, if I
Yeah,
should have to
right
say.
now it's a curse. Sometimes it's okay, but right now it's a bit of a curse. But they fought back from 3-0 down against Detroit. It
Yep.
ended up being, kind of an exciting game. Unfortunately, the loss of Alex Newhook is hurting Habs fans right now. Like when you got a team that is not going to make the playoffs and the expectations are low, you at least want those prospects that you have to get some good development time. And now with Kirby Doc and Alex Newhook out, for extended periods of times, that's not happening either. So yeah, I mean that was a fun game. NFL had a good weekend. Lots of good games. Packers pulled off a big upset against the Chiefs. They're playing good. We got a coworker who's a big Pack fan, so and he sort of has the same dilemma as I do as a Habs fan. Is like, a few weeks ago he was expecting a nice draft pick, and now the Packers are winning games, and that draft pick's getting worse and worse. And it's like, okay, if you're not really going to make noise in the playoffs, you want a good draft pick, but at the same time you don't want to cheer against your team. So it's like, you're in that kind of no man's land.
Yeah, thankfully there's still a lot more time left for the Canadians to really sewer themselves here. So I don't think you've got to worry about that. They'll still probably end up with a pretty nice draft pick. But moving on, the Los Angeles Kings in Columbus taking on the Blue Jackets. I think this is going to be a really tough one for the Blue Jackets. Of course, the Kings are great on the road and unbeatable on the road, and they are just arguably the best defensive team in the NHL. I don't think it's really all that arguable right now. Like it's insane what LA is doing. They are first or second in every meaningful defensive category. And they're so well, they do such a good job at defending the rush. According to Stathletes here, ranking first in shots off the rush and seventh in scoring chances against per game, second in rush scoring chances against per game. So, really wish we had some more access to this data because it does really give us a better look at what the profile is of this team. And teams across the league. So this is going to be a tough one for Columbus. Obviously, they've played a lot of hockey in this last little stretch. And yeah, this is going to be a very tough game for the Blue Jackets. I will say that if you look around some Canadian sports books out there, you might find a really, really off-market price on the LA Kings worth looking around if you are in Canada. But we're talking we're talking about odds that we can get down on. So not gonna reference those odds right now. But the Kings a minus 187 favorite at NorthStar Bets right now. And that is lining up minus 185. Sorry, that is lining up pretty much right there with the model, which has the Kings at minus 187. So right now it's the Detroit Red Wings. That is my best bet for December 5th, Tuesday. But I do have one more play, and it's a smaller play, a half unit play, but could be a big payout, could be over a 1 unit payout. It is San Jose Sharks at plus 130 or plus 235, sorry, on the money line. The Sharks are in Long Island taking on the Islanders. And we just learned, and that's a big, this is not going to be worth, valuable information on Tuesday. It's valuable right now because we just learned that Brock Nelson and Noah Dobson are both day to day for the Islanders. Those are two big losses for this Islanders team, who I think, I mean, they have dreadful underlying metrics. They've been, sticking around in games, whether they're winning or losing, very close games. This Sharks team, though, they've been, just absolutely annihilating anybody, any squares who thought they'd fade the Sharks all season long and get rich doing so. This Sharks team has been really turning it around. So I just want to point out how great of an opportunity this is at plus 235 to get down a small bet, half unit play on the San Jose Sharks and hope for the best, because this Islanders team, they aren't blowing anybody away. Hey, they might blow away the Sharks. That can happen. The Sharks are a very bad team, but I don't think the New York Islanders are all that good either. So Sharks plus 235, half unit play on the money line. Looking forward to this one. Good to get down on this one when the information is fresh here. We just learned about this on Twitter a little while ago. So yeah, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel. Like this video, tell your friends about it. Help us out on Twitter, share it, tweet it. That would help out a lot as we try to climb the charts here, because like I said, we've been crushing it. Let me just bring up those stats again. 63 wins, 45 losses, 18.6 units in the bank, 15.5% return on investment. It's been a good season, and it's been a little bit of a slow transition out of November into December. Not a lot of value on the board, but you can expect that when you're crushing the market. You can expect that it'll catch up at some point. So we've just got to bide our time and look for our opportunities. And I'm sure as things come here, yeah, we'll get some more action down the line. But just going to take it slow, look for the best opportunities. I think we found two really good ones for Tuesday. The Detroit Red Wings at minus 110 to beat the Buffalo Sabres to win 1 unit, and the San Jose Sharks at plus 235, bet a half unit, win roughly about 1.17 units. Slats in the chat. Alex Nedeljkovic confirmed for the Pens. Hart in for the Flyers, so that gives us a good chance to transition over to Monday. We'll talk about the rest of Tuesday's games on Tuesday. We've got two bets locked down. I think they're going to be pretty good bets, so happy about that. But let's transition over to Monday and check out the projections for Monday, December 4th. Now, look, I was a little bit worried that I was going to feel behind here. Yesterday was my birthday. My wife planned a bunch of surprise stuff that I was not expecting. And yeah, I'm very, very grateful, but didn't get as much work done as I usually do on Sundays. Let's just say that. I was feeling a little bit behind last night, but when I finally did get caught up on Monday's games, I thought, there's not a whole lot here. There really isn't. I mean, we got a great price on the Flyers. Even if you didn't get that plus 170 price that I locked in on the Friday episode of the Puck Portfolio, when we looked ahead to Saturday's games, you still probably got a great price, because we thought the Flyers should be priced down around the plus 140 range. That's where they closed. And that's why you won't get a great price on the Flyers today. But now with Nedeljkovic starting, there is a change here. Obviously, I had Jarry and Hart projected to be the starting goaltenders. So Pittsburgh, small favorite on the road, minus 111. That nullifies that. So where are we at here with the Flyers? Can we get a good price, or has it all moved um, that fast. So look, NorthStar Bets already down to plus 102, but there is a plus 110 out there at another Canadian book, a very prominent Canadian book. Um, yeah, let's just call it out because we do want to lock this in. We're gonna lock a half unit play in on the Flyers at plus 110 at bet 365 because that is there and available. So why not? Let's take it. Let's take it. Um, half unit. So did not think we were going to end up with a bet on uh did not think we were gonna, yeah, roughly 50-50. Connor, he asked in the chat what my new projection is for this game. I would make the Flyers a small favorite now. I think can't confirm that, just not gonna do that on the fly here, but willing to lock in a half unit bet. So thanks for that information, Connor. I was talking too much. Did not happen to see that on Twitter, but yeah, with Nedeljkovic starting, and he's been all right this season, but with him starting, and I think, look, you look at how the last game went. The Flyers didn't even play their best hockey game, but they outplayed the Penguins. The Penguins were trash and still managed to stay in the game. Samuel Urson in goal did not have that forecasted initially, but that was the case, and he managed to get the win. So hopefully Hart comes back with a strong performance because I think the Flyers are probably going to get a better performance out of the Penguins today. That's another reason to kind of feel like you got away with one on Saturday with Pittsburgh playing so poorly. So Flyers saved my night on Saturday. Hopefully they don't make Monday a losing day, but if they do, it's just a half unit play. And I think there's some value there at plus 110, but you're going to have to shop around for that one. I would not bet even money or anything like that. I think I don't bet my games. My edge is really, really thin. Leave a little bit of room there. That's how I do things anyway. So got the Flyers locked in for Monday. Nothing really else that I like on the board, to be honest. I mean, small edge on the Arizona Coyotes at minus 115. Pretty thin though. Same goes for the Montreal Canadiens against the Seattle Kraken. Jake talked about it a little bit here that the Canadiens they just tend to stick around and they're a feisty team. And they kind of maybe make you believe a little bit when you watch them play a good game, but then they really tear that all down when you watch them play their when they're at their worst. So Montreal, you have to get the best odds on the Canadians if you're going to take that price against take a good price against the Kraken. What would be a good price? Yeah, I mean it's Connor in the chat, hard to back Montembeault out of any of the Montreal goalies too. Yeah, I mean, prior to last season when Montembeault was great, he hadn't been all that good. I mean, he was a fade goalie when he was in Florida. He was an auto fade in a lot of cases. And I thought that was going to be the case in Montreal, but was wrong last season, unfortunately. But yeah, this season, I mean, what do you think about Montembeault's pay, Jake? I mean, has he been where's he at right now in terms of statistically? I will look really quick.
I don't know if he's still at the top right now, but I keep hearing that he's the best, if not, among the best goalies at 5-on-5. The problem with the Habs is they give up so many power plays, and their special teams has been kind of brutal this year. So his numbers are a bit skewed. But,
Yeah,
at
Montembeault at 5-on-5, number 8 in goals saved above expected, but in all situations, he drops to 22nd, still above average.
yeah, it's a bit rough. They give up so many high danger chances. It's hard for any goalie to look good in that crease right now. But I mean, I think right now he gives them a better chance than Jake Allen or Caden Primo. So I think there's some value there when he plays, especially against a team like Seattle that's been pretty inconsistent this year.
Yeah, Seattle. What I will say about the Kraken though is they have had a pretty tough schedule. It's been a meat grinder. They played a lot of tough teams. Haven't had a lot of weak teams or easy games on the schedule. So I wonder sometimes, am I too hard on the Seattle Kraken? But then I bet on them on Saturday, small bet plus 110 to beat the Ottawa Senators, and they get shut out. And both Senators goals come off of turnovers. So maybe I'm not too low on the Kraken, but yeah, I mean, it would be Montreal or nothing for me. But right now, just the plus 110 play locked in on the Philadelphia Flyers, and we'll see what happens. But with Carolina now facing off against Laurent Brossoit, they are now a minus 128 favorite, so minus 107, which you see on the screen there. That's an old number. That was with Hellebuck in goal for the Winnipeg Jets, but it looks like that is not going to be the case. And then the Pittsburgh Penguins, Alex Nedeljkovic starting in goal for the Penguins. So Penguins no longer minus 111, according to the model. Didn't get a chance to update the price here, but let's call it 50-50. Some value for sure on the Philadelphia Flyers at plus 110 or better. But yeah, so that pretty much does it for today's episode of the Puck Portfolio. I am pretty pleased with the bets that I was able to lock in. Of course, the Flyers, which I just mentioned, for Monday, plus 110, half unit, and a half unit play on the San Jose Sharks at plus 235 to beat the New York Islanders on Tuesday. The Islanders are probably going to be without Noah Dobson and Brock Nelson here, so that helps for sure. And finally, my best bet for Tuesday, the Detroit Red Wings minus 110 on the money line to beat the Buffalo Sabres. Those odds available at NorthStar Bets, who sponsors this show. We are very grateful for that. Very grateful for all of you tuning in each and every weekday. Really appreciate it. The likes, all of you who have subscribed so far. If you haven't already, please do it. Helps out a ton. Trying to get trying to climb those charts, guys. So if you're listening on Spotify, especially, please rate and review the podcast. That will help out a ton. And yeah, we got to keep this thing growing. Keep it going and growing. That's right. Jake, you got anything to add before we get out of here?
No, I think you said it all. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Here's to a good week of whatever you're doing, and a good week of hockey too.
All right, all right, all right. Well, we will see you on Tuesday. We will be back looking at Tuesday's games, looking ahead to the Wednesday slate, of course. Maybe find some more betting value. Hopefully, the bets that we made today on Monday for Tuesday will have accumulated some value. That is the goal here. So we'll see. We'll catch up with you on Tuesday. Good luck with your bet tonight. Take care.